Hello everyone, my name is Aiman Shukur Ramadan, and in today's topic, I'll be presenting the dynamics of Pancasila challenges. So first things first, Pancasila, as you may know, is the ideological foundation of Indonesia and has played a vital role in maintaining national unity and guiding societal values. However, in recent years, it has faced increasing challenges due to various socio-political shifts, the rapid spread of globalization, and the influence of foreign ideologies have begun to undermine the traditional national values. At the same time, the rise of radicalism and extremism threatens the inclusive spirit of Pancasila. Moreover, Moreover, moral degradation among youth, evidenced by increasing individualism, consumerism, and detachment from community values, adds another layer of complexity. These issues, if left unaddressed, could lead to a weakening of national identity and cohesion. To better understand these challenges, a qualitative descriptive research approach was adopted. This method allowed for in-depth exploration for the socio-cultural factors influencing the implementation and perception of Pancasila. The research involved a comprehensive literature review of academic journals, policy documents, and ideological texts. Observations of social trends, especially among the youth and in digital spaces, were conducted to identify key patterns. Additionally, case studies focusing on educational institutions and government programs aimed at promoting Pancasila provided practical insights. These combined methods help from a holistic view of the problem and inform the formulation of effective recommendations. Given the challenges identified, several strategic solutions are proposed. First, there is a strong need to revamp civic and moral education by integrating Pancasila values in a more engaging and contemporary format. This would help young people internalize these values from an early age. Secondly, the role of institutions such as the BPIP must be strengthened so they can lead ideological development initiatives more effectively. Finally, the digital media should be harnessed as a tool for positive influence through campaigns, content creation, and online education that appeal to youth and reinforce Pancasila as relevant and essential in today's world. The research identified four critical challenges facing the preservation of Pancasila in modern Indonesia. The first is the ideological shift brought about by exposure to global ideologies and radical narratives that oppose the principles of unity and pluralism. Second is moral decline, characterized by a rise in hedonistic lifestyles, materialism, and a weakening of communal bonds. Thirdly, is the influence of social media has led to increased misinformation and online pluralization, which can distort public perception of national values. Lastly, a general lack of civic understanding among the younger generation further complicates efforts to maintain Pancasila's relevance in everyday life. The theoretical framework draws from several established ideologies and academic perspectives. Louis Althusser's theory of ideological state apparatuses explains how institutions such as schools and media shape societal beliefs, underscoring the importance of these sectors in instilling Pancasila values. On the other hand, Emily Durkheim's concept of social cohesion emphasizes that a shared moral framework is essential to societal stability, aligning closely with the goals of Pancasila. Last but not least, James Banks' civic education model advocates for inclusive multicultural education as a means to cultivate democratic values and active citizenship, an approach highly applicable in revitalizing Pancasila in Indonesia. As for the research result display, as you can see on the left side, there's a chart regarding the youth perception of Pancasila in contemporary Indonesia. So the pie chart illustrates how Indonesian youth perceive the relevance of Pancasila today. A significant portion 35% strongly support Pancasila, reflecting continued belief in its importance. Another 25% supported but recognized certain limitations in how it applied. Meanwhile, 20% remained neutral, possibly indicating a lack of deep understanding or engagement. Alarmingly, 15% questioned the relevance of Pancasila in modern society, and 5% openly oppose it. This shows that a growing ideological gap among the younger generation, and it underscores the urgent need for revitalized civic education and inclusive outreach strategies to keep Pancasila values alive and meaningful in the digital age. Lastly, its conclusion and recommendation. As you may know, Pancasila, as the ideological backbone of Indonesia, is facing significant challenges in the modern era. For example, the influence of radical ideologies, moral degradation, and the spread of misinformation, particularly among the youth, are weakening the nation's core values. These issues highlight a growing disconnect between the principles of Pancasila and the realities of contemporary Indonesian society, especially within the digital and educational landscape. Without strategic action, there is a real risk of diminishing national unity and civic awareness. So, in recommendation to address these concerns, a multi-dimensional approach is essential. First, educational reform should focus on revitalizing civic education, integrating Pancasila in more interactive and relatable ways. National institutions like BPIP must be strengthened to lead this effort effectively. Additionally, digital literacy programs are needed to help youth critically engage with online content. Lastly, creative campaigns leveraging storytelling, social media, and youth culture can make Pancasila more appealing and meaningful for the younger generation, ensuring its values to continue to shape Indonesia's future.